Hi everyone, please take note of the following disclaimer. Please note that this video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the term growth stocks? Normally, you automatically think of technology stocks, right? Things like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, things in the Magnificent Seven, Tesla, or even things like AMD, Broadcom, etc. But what if you're an income-oriented investor, right? The problem, or the conundrum, if you will, is that these stocks typically have very, very, very small dividends or no dividends at all, right? So, of course, you could buy or purchase a technology covered call ETF, but with a covered call strategy, you are giving up quite a bit of upside or growth of these stocks. So this is where the QDAY ETF comes in, and it's been specifically designed to provide you exposure to technology stocks, to get that growth, but also some income without sacrificing too much upside. Let's check out this ETF together. So here it is, everyone. We're talking about QDAY from Hamilton ETFs. This is the Hamilton Enhanced Technology Day Max ETF. So this ETF has been specifically engineered to give you technology exposure to some of the top technology stocks without sacrificing too much upside. How does it work? Let's do a deep dive. The first thing that I always look at when analyzing an ETF are what are the holdings inside the ETF. So you'll see that this ETF has two holdings. It's the first holding, which takes up the majority, is the QMVP ETF. This is the Hamilton Champions US Technology Index ETF. We'll take a look at that in a second. And then the second more minor holding is QQQM. So this is literally, everyone's heard of the Qs or QQQ. So this is the Invesco Nasdaq-100 Index ETF. So that's QQQM. And it's 125% together because this ETF does have modest amount of leverage of 25%. So you see the total is going to be 125. So essentially 80% of this portfolio in essence is QMVP and then 20% is QQQM. So why did they do this combination? How does it work? Well, basically the QMVP exposure, this is where you're going to get your technology stock exposure, and there is no covered calls on this ETF. So you're not giving up any upside with this ETF. They are actually writing, they're actually writing a daily or a 0 DTE covered call on this portion of the portfolio, only on 20% portion of the portfolio on QQQM. So if you don't know what 0 DTE or daily covered calls are, 0 DTE basically stands for 0 days to expiry. So it's actually available to do a daily covered call now on the major indexes in the US, and the Nasdaq-100 is definitely one of them. So this means they could write calls more frequently and potentially generate more income. So that's exactly what they're doing to generate the income for this ETF, which has quite high income potential here. They're doing the covered calls or the 0 DTE covered calls only on this portion of the portfolio, only on 20% of the portfolio. I say 20% instead of 25 because it's 125 total, but 25% on 125 total is 20%, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So that's how they're generating the income. And then the portion here, which is the big majority, has no covered calls. You're fully capturing the upside of the technology stocks inside that ETF. What is that ETF? Well, this is the QMVP ETF, which is very new here from Hamilton ETFs. And what it holds is very simple, everyone. It holds 25 some of the best technology companies out there. So you could look at the full portfolio here. You'll recognize a lot of them. The Magnificent Seven are here, right? Broadcom, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla. AMD is somewhere. Here it is. So you really have some of the best technology stocks. What makes this different is that they're really focusing on quality technology stocks. I like to say blue chip technology stocks. So in QDAY, if you invested in QDAY or you've been following it, at the beginning, instead of having QMVP as their core holding, they had XLK as their core holding. So this is kind of like the change that they made. In my opinion, it's an upgrade, because the XLK ETF, it is a technology ETF. But if you look at the holdings, it's actually very, very, very concentrated. It's more of a concentrated portfolio. You see that Nvidia makes up 15%, Apple 13%, Microsoft 10%, etc. And this is a pure technology ETF. So things that might be considered technology are not in here. So for example, Tesla is not in here. Amazon wasn't in this ETF. So if we look at QMVP in comparison, you do see things like Amazon. And Meta was not even in XLK. So this one is a lot more broad. It's more diverse in terms of exposure. And you see the percentages, it's not as concentrated. In fact, if you want to learn details about this QMVP ETF, I highly recommend you check out this article, which explains why they came up with this ETF. And the point is really to emphasize profitability. So on the more profitable technology companies, or I like to call more blue chip, more established technology company, and also a management of concentration risk, right? They're limiting over reliance on a small number of large holdings like the XLK ETF did. And by the way, what they did is they created an index, their own index called the Selective Hamilton Champions US Technology Index. This is what QMVP is based on. And they did a backtrack and they compared, okay, how would this index do versus the technology select sector index ETF, which is basically XLK. And you could see that over time, the index outperformed this one, right? The Hamilton Index outperformed the technology select sector index, which is what is the index that XLK is based on. So you're getting less concentration risk with QMVP versus XLK. You're less broad, more broad in terms of holdings. I highly recommend you check out this article if you want to read more details. But as you could see here, it still focuses on core technology companies like the Magnificent Seven, but the allocation is more balanced, right? 2 to 6% max approximately to avoid over concentration in certain names. And it's really focused on profitable companies as well. So you could see the full list here. And another thing, another little tad bit of information, they were paying the management fee of XLK because XLK is an external ETF. So XLK has a management fee of 8 basis points. I believe, of course, I'm having trouble finding it here, but finding it right now. But it's here somewhere. Here it is. 8 basis points. So QDAY's fee, you could say, went down 8 basis points because by taking out the XLK and putting QMVP, which is another Hamilton Champions ETFs, there's no double management fees on, if Hamilton holds their own ETF. So just a little bit of an upgrade, if you ask me. The management fee technically did go down for QDAY recently by 8 basis points by swapping out the XLK for QMVP. So QMVP will give you your pure technology exposure that's actually more diversified than XLK. There's no covered calls on this QMVP technology ETF. That's very important to understand. They're only doing the covered calls on this portion of the portfolio, 20% of the portfolio, and they're pretty much they're at the money calls or close to at the money calls. And by the way, if you're interested in finding out how these Daymax ETFs work, I did a Q&A with the guy from Hamilton ETFs, the chief options strategy officer, Nick Picard. So I highly recommend you watch this video. It's 46 minutes where we do a deep dive into their Daymax ETFs, which of course includes QDAY. But of course, back then for QDAY, for example, XLK was there, whereas now they changed it and they included QMVP as the core position. So another cool thing, if you're an income-oriented investor, to think about for this particular ETF, QDAY, as well as their other two Daymax ETFs, is that you are getting 2 distributions a month instead of 1. So this pays out 24 distributions a year. So you're getting 2 distributions a month. So more frequent income. You could actually go down, click on distributions, and see the whole history of distributions since the beginning. So of course, we know that cover call premiums, cover call income does vary. So you might see varying distributions, but they don't vary too much. But you're still getting a very high level of income. You could calculate the yield yourself by doing some very simple math here. So this is a very, very interesting ETF, everyone. If you are looking for technology exposure, but you're an income-oriented investor and you want to capture as much upside as possible, technically you could say that this ETF captures 80% of the upside, right? So simply because they're only doing covered calls on this portion of the portfolio. So I highly recommend you watch this Q&A. I highly recommend you read this article. I'll put the links. I'll pin a comment with the links for those, and that'll explain to you, or it'll really tell you the thought process behind the creation of QMVP, why they created it, and the proof is in the pudding, right? If we look at the index that QMVP is based out of, again, it's outperforming since about 2006 till 2025, I guess. It is outperforming the technology select sector index. So more diversification, less concentration risk, a focus more on the more profitable technology companies. And it's very interesting, right? Because yes, you're getting all the classic stuff, but you're also getting some companies that might not be considered full technology companies, like eBay or Electronic Arts, right? Or Netflix. Netflix is in here as well. There it is. But of course, the majority, I would say, is focused on your core Magnificent Seven stocks. So it's very, very interesting. Let me know if you have any questions. I highly recommend you check it out and do your own research here. And that's it, everyone. Take care, stay safe, stay passive, stay honorable. See you next time.